So we have had about 150 lines secured for this event. So I imagine there will be more people joining us in the first few minutes as this unfolds. Based on the registration and the way we feel our way into today, we have here present with us today people that work with professional teams in small and large companies. We have business owners and CEOs of their own companies. We have coaches and facilitators, and we have people who work in the trenches on difficult problems in local, regional, and global scale. We have professors and teachers in prestigious institutions. We have leaders and pathfinders who are developing their own body of work in a variety of spaces. And we have people who come into this event from background of healing and healing practices, and from a variety of communities with developmental, spiritual, evolutionary inclination. So a very broad range of backgrounds, a tremendously rich diversity. And the hope and the intent is to create as relevant of an experience to everybody involved, and to create the space that will allow the collective wisdom and collective intelligence to speak to us. So I'm going to do only, and I skip my own introduction. My bio can be found on the site. The focus of today is the exercise. And I'm going to use very minimalistically slides, but we'll bring some slides in the beginning. And yeah, this looks right. So again, welcome to Portals of Perception. We are a 501c3 not-for-profit endeavor dedicated to the inquiry of where does the future come from, and how do we humans evolve in terms of our perception and consciousness. And naturally, a part of our premise is that the future actually arises and appears with each and every one of us. And especially through our deepest inquiries and aspirations and hopes, and through the conversations that we create. Part of the idea of the Portals Project is that conversations can become portals of new possibilities and opportunities. So the way today, and this leads us very naturally into the premise of today, nurturing emergent communities. And the way today will play out is, here is a brief run through the flow of today. We will start with an opening practice that we call welcoming the community within. We'll proceed into a few moments of sensing what is alive, again with Paul playing for us live music. We'll come from that and look to bring forward some tweets in 3 words, 6 words, 9 or 12 words, early senses of what is alive. And we will then build on that a brief context for the inquiry today. This will be, I will attempt to weave a 3,000-year story in 7 or 8 minutes to highlight one plot line of the epoch progression, epoch culmination story. And I will then introduce and invite Anne Stedler, Jeff van der Kloot, and Grace Boda to offer conversation sparks, and we will use those starters to then go into appreciative explorations in rooms, probably rooms of 4 or 5. And when we come back from the rooms, we will be back here for a wisdom gathering of whatever it is that wants to show up with us today. To seed this just a little bit, we use the frame, the language, emergent communities, as an umbrella language, umbrella frame to cover for a broad range of process natures and phenomena natures, and to highlight just 3 natures within the broader kaleidoscope of process and phenomena that we are interested in. The first nature to highlight involves communities and teams that spontaneously arise. Those are situations when we come together swiftly, almost able to go through the various stages of team or community formation almost instantly because of a need, perhaps a pressing need, and or because of a new emergent opportunity. So that's nature 1. The second nature that we are inquiring into involves communities that intentionally and deliberately practice listening to what is arising and letting themselves be guided in how we are forming and how we are informed through our forming through and by those emergent properties that show up with us. And the third in this early seeding nature that to highlight are gatherings and teams and communities that come together around an aspirational cause or a transcendent purpose, and that purpose or cause, they work as a conductive source that forever propels them forward and updates who we are becoming in that process. So these 3 natures, spontaneously arising teams and communities where we listen to what is arising, and teams and communities where we feel propelled by some purpose or cause that is the leading attractor for us and is how we continue to evolve. So within these 3 natures, within a broader range of process, methodology, and phenomena natures. And we are asking and inquiring into all of these, partly on the premise that at the local, the regional, the national, the global, the civilizational level, we are now facing challenges that require us to find each other in new and more intelligent ways, because no one person, no one situation, now obviously speaking here from my point of view, and the only authority that I have is the authenticity of my experience, where I observe that the kind of challenges that are on our collective, that is humanity's table, require us to come together in new and creative ways. So all that and more, we are seeking to bring forward today by way of the collective wisdom and intelligence that's ready to show up as part of our exploration. So we'll do this in the opening space, and we will close the last 7 minutes with a closing ritual. So that's the flow for today.